and 2 and 1, and we're live. Good morning. Here we are. It is the Martin Fowler. It happens to be AM in Europe, but who knows where people are in the world? It could be any time. My name's Sam Joseph, and we have a full house today. We've got Jan and Thomas and Puneet and Piotr and Carl Philip and Lufur and Daniel. Welcome everyone. Here we are. So I'll just start at the top. Things going on in my part of the world. Talking about doing, done, and blocked. What are the main things I've done? Main thing I've just done this morning is I've recorded a new video for that AV102 distributed software teams course. I'm quite pleased with that. Basically, a lot of my work this week is going to be focused on transcribing videos for that course, and that's the course that trains students to be teaching assistants in the engineering software as a service course. So things going reasonably well there. Local support, I've got, we're having nice chats with Marwan and Piotr as we work towards stuff on the local support project. The client meeting is going to be on Thursday. Website 1, we've upgraded to Ruby 2.3. The new premium benefits page is up. Thomas, I'm glad that you're liking that. Yes, nothing blocking there. And then finally, we had a big autograder outage last night, but the problem was actually on edX's side. Looking forward to the autograder client meeting on Friday. Amanda going to be joining us, and the big thing there is working out the rubric for the pairing. So we're going to have all the students, the 10,000 strong students in the MOOC, required to pair in order to get their certificates. It's going to be a pairing. Is orgy the wrong word? But anyway, it's going to be a great pairing extravaganza. Looking forward to sorting out that rubric. Thomas was in first. Any updates from you, Thomas? How are things going?
Yes. So I'm mainly working on the Craft Academy course materials, and trying to get my students to do what I tell them to do. Always the easiest thing. So I'm amazed that, and I spoke to Jordan at Makers Academy about this once, that we were amazed that people are actually paying us money to teach them stuff, and then when we do that, they kind of ignore our advice. It's a very strange thing. But
it is, and I'll just, because I had a similar conversation with Jordan. There's this broader thing with education is that often people will pay for entertainment, and then they're like, yes, I'm going to pay for the Game of Thrones season 2, and I'm going to watch every episode. So people pay for education, but then they don't use all of the resources that are available to them. It's a very strange relationship that people have with entertainment versus education and so on. I do feel for you, Thomas. Go on.
That's the life we are living in. That's the life chosen, I guess. So, but apart from that, I opened up the Project Unify mobile application yesterday on the train, and I coded for 45 minutes. At least 30 minutes of that was devoted to actually understanding my own code. Test-driven development is good for so many reasons, and one of the reasons is that tests are also documentation of your code. And I told you that the mobile app is more of a spike. We don't have many tests. We have some unit tests, but I have Protractor set up, so I should be able to do acceptance tests in that application. But there's a huge technical debt in there. And I hate myself for that, so I slap myself in the face. That's the way it is, Another, sometimes you don't practice what you preach, and in this case, I'm just, I'm sorry against myself, because the only one that is hurting is myself. But I should have invested more time in tests on that app. So yes, so I got to code for 15 minutes, and then the train hit Gothenburg, so I had to go.
If only there was more time for coding.
Exactly. And so my plan is to. We're facing a very long weekend here in Sweden, so tomorrow is back holiday, and Friday we will not be working. I plan to do write some course documentation, but I also plan to work on Project Unify, so I'll be posting the instruction type programming sessions.
Great. Good stuff.
So for me, nothing blocking me up except for my own stupidity.
Well, and I think the thing I'm realizing about you, Thomas, is that there's no need to put pressure on you, because you put all the pressure on yourself. So it's, I'm sure through that intense pressure, you're going to form the carbon of yourself into a beautiful diamond, and we're all going to bask in its glory. It's great stuff.
Can you write that down and show it to my wife or something?
Yeah, we'll work on something. Absolutely. Good stuff. Let's go on to Puneet. Puneet, how are things going with you?
Hey Sam, actually I was stuck on that air brake issue that was coming because of a
Yep.
job.
Yes, yes. The website one.
So yeah, so what I did was I wrote a feature and then I got stuck up in a design issue.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So yeah, I wrote a scenario that actually triggers that particular brake job. Okay,
mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
behind the scene, it calls, it checks, it does its job. It checks whether the project has a GitHub URL and then
Mm-hmm.
updates the GitHub accounts. No, so I was thinking that how to test this. We are calling the external service and
Mm-hmm.
it updates the GitHub counts, and basically we have no idea what that count would be. That's a very random thing.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's now what we would need to be doing is stubbing that third-party service, and that's something maybe at the end of the stand-up when we've gone round, we can be looking at that together. What I was asking you last night is, have you? I mean, you've written a little bit of code. Have you put that in? That's presumably on a branch? Have you pushed that into a pull request yet?
No, no, because that was partial work. I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Should
Sure,
I?
sure. So what I would just say there is what maybe while we're finishing up the stand up, see even
Mhm.
and this is actually a very this is a very important point. Many people feel that even if they've got a bit of partial work, they feel like, oh well, I can't push that up because it's not ready. But I work with a lot of people and I say, and it's different for different projects, but basically I really don't care. Just like whatever you have, however partial it is, in order to help me have a better understanding of what you're working on, you should just push it up into a pull request and put a little, this is a work in progress. I'm not sure how it's working. Because the particular thing is, and I find this a lot, is people are often trying to describe to me the problem that they're having in code with words. They're saying, I've done this sort of thing and I've done this sort of thing. And that's great, but it's so much easier to interpret what they're saying if I'm seeing the actual code as well, even if it's only partially complete code. So I'm very happy we can look at this problem together. But maybe we'll stop there. And could you just in the background, we'll go on to Piotr while we're finishing up the stand-up. Could you push that code up into a branch and then we'll look at it together in about 5-10 minutes? Does that sound like a reasonable idea?
Sure, absolutely.
Fantastic, fantastic, great. And anything else blocking you? Any other concerns, or is just that one?
No, no, nothing right now.
Okay, all right. Well,
Everything's
we'll
good.
look at that together again in a minute.
Sure.
Let's go on to Piotr. Piotr, yeah, how are things going with you?
So I was just blocked because I was away from my ordinary place.
Sure, sure.
But I was trying to stay in touch with all your comments and so on. So I think now I'll start to work on your comments that you made. So to refactor a bit this model of base organization in local support.
Yes.
And I will come back to the task of map markers that you were telling me about.
Oh yeah.
Turned out not so easy as it could be, because it's not just a swapping of files. Because the part of it, like a map marker on the main map, is like being pulled from Google API. So I'm not sure how it is done. I need to read it. And that's why it's not so easy.
It's a little bit trickier than it seems, isn't it, at first? Yeah.
So these are two tasks that I will be working on, and that's all from me.
Okay, great. And so there's no specific block at the moment that you need particular help with. It's just that's the things that you're doing. You're kind of
no. For now I don't have any specific problem that I don't know what to do with it.
Sure. Okay. Great. And well, of course, potentially you may be able to pair with Puneet. You guys see how your time schedules go. Okay, great. Piotr, thanks so much for checking in. Great to have you with us again, as always. So we've got now. I believe it was it Philip and Jan? You came. You popped into one of these sessions before. You sort of know how this works. You're not obliged to. Do you want to give us an update on how things are going with you? You could tell us a bit about your Craft Academy. Jan, if you're interested, do you want to tell us how the Craft Academy things are going at the moment, how the coding is going, or you can skip if you want. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay, I can say a little bit about my impression to the course. I like the course a lot because I have been working with software development for more than 10 years. So, but in the companies where I have been to, there isn't such a good test system like the test-driven method. I know that the method is quite new. I saw in Wikipedia that this test-driven method has begun from 1999, and I have tried it some years ago also, but we have never used it in real work. And now when I'm in this course and I begin to go step by step with a tutorial to build a simple project in Ruby, and I feel it's really interesting, and I feel safe to develop in this way. So I think this is really a great help for me to learn how to code in a correct way and a safe way. In fact, I feel really a little bit embarrassed when I look back my own code because I almost have no test coverage, so it's 0%. I'm thinking to try to develop mobile apps also in the test-driven way. But yeah, I have bought one book, but I haven't started yet. But I will try to use the same method in my future development.
Yeah, excellent. Well, it's great to hear. It's great to hear, and it's lovely that you can sense that there's this feeling of safety when you have the tests and they're working. Yes. I almost, not wishing to break the bubble, because it's great that you're with that feeling, that there is the path beyond is more complex. I think particularly if you get into things like mobile, having a nice test framework and the test setup is actually quite challenging. And you can be in situations where you want to have the tests, but the infrastructure is preventing you from having them. And I think one of the key skills going forward is knowing, when to push for the tests and when to say, actually, this effort in trying to have these tests with this particular technology or this framework is actually causing a bigger drag on the project. But yeah, it's welcome to the beginning of the journey, and there's lots of exciting twists and turns to come. Fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, Jan. Really appreciate that. Great stuff. Carl, any? Did you want to share any thoughts, or you're all right for the moment?
I'm quite good. I'm just getting into things really, since everything is new for me. But I'm really excited, and I feel like this is something that I could really see myself doing in the future.
Yeah, it's great fun. I'm we all get a bit addicted to it. It's our families and our friends and so on. It's like, we have to get your families and friends all doing the coding as well, and then you all do it together. Yes, good stuff. Oh, great to have you with us. Fantastic. Yes, well, let's just Lufur or Daniel, would you want to share anything about your current coding journey? How are things going?
Okay, now you can hear me.
We can, yes.
Okay, great. Hi, I'm Lufur. I'm just a student at Craft Academy and taking my first steps learning how to code. Never done this before, but it's very, very fun. So I really like. I'm in my other life, I'm a clinical psychologist, and I really love that job as well. But this is using another part of my brain, and it's so stimulating, so much fun. Yeah, I'm just taking my first steps, but I have a lot of ideas on how you could use this in my line of work. And the healthcare sector is, there's so many crappy technological solutions by people. I mean, they're basically people who are coders who have built them, but never asked people working
what they need. Yeah.
And then I'm really interested in machine learning and deep learning as well, because in my kind of business, I think that will be the future. Basically, I want to get rid of humans. I tell my colleagues that I'm going to make you unemployed.
Well, eventually everyone becomes software developers. That's really, I think, it's the way we're going. Great stuff. Fantastic, Luke. Yeah. Well, so glad to have you with us. Excellent.
It's great to be here. I'm going to find a project and sign up then. So I hope to mostly I'll be learning, but maybe in the future, I can contribute with other knowledge I have.
Well, absolutely. I think that's the thing. A lot of people say about Agile Event. They say, like, what's the minimum requirement in order to contribute? And there is no minimum requirement. Just being, like there's all different. Just offering one's opinions on the interface or on the projects that are in place, are all extremely valuable. And it's all, get involved at the level of complexity as you feel comfortable.
Yeah.
It's entirely what it's all about. Yeah.
Thank you.
Great stuff. Daniel, anything to share about your journey at the moment? And you're muted at the moment, so we can't hear those things about your journey. But
there we go.
There we go.
All right. Yeah, regarding my journey, it's coding is apparently tough, huh?
So very mentally stimulating. Absolutely.
Oh yes. So yeah, I enjoy the stimulating part, enjoying less the frustration part. But I think it's a great skill set to have, in particular for a guy like me who, run a startup together with a few friends and not understanding what they're doing or talking about, or it's really hard. So I think this is going to make things a lot easier and easier for us to communicate.
Excellent. So, and what is your startup in a particular space? Like so, Luther is in the health, field. What area is your kind of specialty?
Yeah, I think we could say that we're also into digital health.
Okay.
We provide people with scientific knowledge about what we know about happiness and what actually makes people feel good.
Awesome. Good stuff. I look forward to hearing more about that at some point in the future. I'm noticing that the time now, we've kind of hit the 15-minute limit that we're usually on for the Agile Ventures. What I might just do, thanks so much, Daniel, thanks to everyone for sharing. It's an incredible journey that you guys are going on. And Agile Ventures is a part of that bigger picture. I think you've heard a lot about Agile Ventures. I'll just mention that it's, anybody can start a project. We're just committed to kind of open source and open development and trying to do the right thing. Google's do no evil is sort of our mantra as well. We're trying to contribute to the greater good and basically provide an open plan for learning. It's an open plan office for the world. We have Piotr is in Krakow and Puneet is in India. I think, are you in Mumbai, Puneet? Is that right?
No, I'm in Bangalore.
Bangalore, you did. Sorry, yes, Bangalore, and I'm in London, and you guys are in Sweden, and it's about an open plan office for the world, and basically people just sort of wander around and get involved and stuff and enjoy themselves, and then the side effect is you have all this learning stuff and fun and saving the world and hang out with cool people. But so that's pretty much the end of the key stand-up. I did promise Puneet that we would look at his code issue together. So maybe we will go ahead and do that. Unless there's any other important business, feel free to drop out. Thomas, did you want to say something there?
Before we go, so one of the assignments that the guys have for this meeting is that they're supposed to provide a link to a recording of a meeting.
Oh yeah.
Tell them how to get hold of that link.
Yeah.
Over by Slack in the Craft Academy or Agile Ventures channel, that would be awesome.
So the link I just posted there in the group chat, and it's also basically, if you may notice, I mean, one thing, we have this integration between the
Craft Academy or Agile Ventures channel.
I'm getting a mute. We have this integration between the Slack and so on, so you can actually see going on in here. If you look in the general channel, some of you may have joined through here, but you can see we automatically post the video link to the recording of the Hangout there. So just in case you need to find that later on. Okay. All right. Let me pop that away. That's the thing I was working on. Let's come back to now. Puneet, were you able to do that pull request there in the background?
Yes, I've created a pull request.
Okay, excellent. Well, if anyone who's interested in seeing Puneet and myself work on that, feel free to stick around. Otherwise, I will catch everyone later. Yeah, Puneet, do you want to share your? Well, I guess maybe do you want to share your screen? I'll share my screen. We'll go in and have a look for that. So here we go. So this is website 1. Like so. Okay, so here we go. We've got the code going on there. All right, yeah. So the key thing that you're working with there, right? You've got the new feature, which is great. and you've got the feature it's hitting, running the rate task, and
Yep.
so on. And so, is your main concern there is just the fact that it will be hitting the remote service, and you're not.
Yes, so
sure how to cope with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I created this feature had this logic in mind that initially I'll keep just count to 1, and assuming that calling this external service, which somehow I will be able to mock, will just increase the count by 1 for whichever project it increases the for whichever project GitHub URL is present.
Yeah. So what you'll need to do, we've got this. Have you heard of VCR?
I have seen this getting used in other features. So yeah, means I think, and from what I've heard, it's used for mocking the external service.
Yeah,
that's similar.
So we've basically got it set up so that if you put an @VCR above the feature, what that means is that the first time that you run this test, when it hits the external service, it will store a copy of the what's it called? It'll store a copy of the okay, yeah. Give me a second. So what we can do there is, now do I have your, let's see if I can just quickly go to the website 1 and exit that there. What's happening here? Come on. Why is that not responding? Okay. So if I get remote -v there and touch git fetch touch ps, and then so if I git checkout, and this is the one here. So so if we look in here and we look in the code base, so now where's this new feature? Is it in?
It's in DevOps folder. Yeah.
Okay. I don't seem to have it there for some reason. Have I gone into the wrong? Touch first, git hist. Last thing, step definition added partial scenario background. Let's go back over here. Where is this thing? Features DevOps. Oh, am I looking at the wrong folder? DevOps features DevOps. Yeah, GitHub commits feature here. Yes. So if we put @VCR here, like so, and then we run precisely that feature. So we go Q, and then I'm going to do B cucumber. Make it bigger so you can see it. And then what's the next thing? B cucumber features DevOps. There we go, like so. If we run that with the @VCR, it basically runs. Any network connections will be recorded, and then what it will do is those network connections will get recorded and stored in now where is it? It's fixtures. We've got it in support now, have we? Yeah, their support. So we've got these cassettes. So we can see now here we would get update GitHub stats of all projects, and you see you get this YAML file here.
Right.
So basically all of these requests to the GitHub API are then stored on the first operation. Yeah, like so. And then what that means is when we run it again now, instead of hitting the web again, it's going to have that stored information in here. Yeah, it's going to replay this cassette, so it will never hit the external service again. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. So is it possible to fix some sort of data that is returned by this service? For example,
yeah, I mean, you can edit this file, basically. You can edit this file to adjust what's going on. I mean, the bottom line here is that you've got like you've done this. I mean, you can sort of set it you can set it so that these are on zeros, right? Like you just give them an initial what have you, and then you load whatever they are, and then just you can make these numbers match what comes off the GitHub when you run this, right? Do you know what I mean?
Right. And also I have to make sure that this file also goes into the version control, right?
Yes, absolutely, yes, you do.
Okay, I think I get the idea. I think I understood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
I think it's good to to create a pull request, and also I can keep making changes, and when I feel that it's complete. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, that's the other great thing about the pull request is what we often do is we kind of put a WIP on the front just to indicate that that's what we mean, that it's done, and that it's kind of that you're still working. But yeah, every little change, push it up there, one for backup because you're backing it up off your machine, and it means that you can get comments as you go along, and that's just the way. That's a great way to work, really.
Yeah. Thanks. I think that's been very helpful. I haven't been able to put a tag like work in progress, so this WIP should be enough, or
that will be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
That will be more than sufficient. Yes, and feel free to reach out to Piotr if you want to work together on that, or vice versa. Anyway, see how you go.
Absolutely.
All right, I got to run.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Bye for now. Cheers.
Bye.